There's a need to have a conversation, an intentional conversation about what we want to be in the future. It gives us an opportunity to divorce ourselves from all the tensions and pressures and issues that exist in your daily life right now and just think about what we could be down the road 18 years. The reason for that is because if you had a child today, in 18 years they'd be a freshman, and we're trying to think about what the next generation would need in an educational institution like ours when they get here. So the goal is not to think about how we would make things better right now or today or what the daily issues are, but to think about and dream about what would be there 18 years down the road. I give 4 words that were at the core of the atom I showed you at the Fact-Staff Institute that I hope will guide your conversation today. The first is mission, which is first understanding what our mission is, and then understanding how we could reimagine that for the context of education 18 years down the road, or students that are coming 18 years down the road. Second is quality, which is kind of a given. It's hard to be against quality, but it's even harder to define quality. And so what I'm asking you to do is think about the standards of quality in very specific ways that we would want to keep and that we would want to shoot for 18 years down the road. Competition question is even more difficult in some ways because I need you to think about who we compete with, not just internally, like another PT to program or another business school, but also externally. What in our society is higher education competing with? And so having a conversation about how we become competitive, whether that's because we're relevant, because we've made difference, or because we have quality and our excellence, or because we're being compared to other entities around the world, is the task of today's work. And then the last is diversity. And there I would point to both the traditional definitions of diversity, race, ethnicity, geography, class, but I would also point to diversity of ideas and diversity of engagement. So our students will leave in 18 years an institution that will require them to know the world in ways we don't know it now and engage with it very differently than we do now. And we have to design that or think about how we become that for our students down the road. And so that's the goal. That's the goal of today. Paper is out on your table. The goal is to have you draw and write and just spill out your ideas for us to collect and manage afterwards. Hopefully the creative process at your table will take over and we'll get a whole range of new images and ideas that we can bring to bear. So if you think of this kind of as a great big brainstorming opportunity, it's our opportunity to put everything down on the paper. We'll bring all this back into the Planning Commission and begin to work with it and change it. So if there's a failure today, it's really in the imagination. So think big, dream big, and draw big, and we'll be able to pull that all into a process that gets us to a set of priorities and a set of ideas that ultimately we'll be shooting for down the road 18 to 20 years.